What's up, Wanna Coffee fam? It's Kai, and we are back. We will have weekly contributions from strangers all over the world discussing various topics chosen by yours truly. And this is the first time these contributors have spoken to one another, so you are in for a real treat. Without further ado, here's Christian and Nikita with Pride.
This meeting is being recorded, so we're starting now.
Yes.
Good afternoon, day, morning, evening, whatever, wherever, who you are. How are you?
I am good. How are you? It's good
Doing well, doing
to
well.
have this conversation with you. Today we're talking about pride.
Hey, happy Pride. As June is ending, it's nice to talk about Pride. TBH, I've actually never been to a formal Pride event. Like I've been to Pride after parties and I've hooked up with people from Pride, but I've not like gone out to like go on parade
Yeah.
actually.
I can honestly say I've never been to a parade for pride either. I
Mhm.
don't do I don't do parades for a lot of things. So I probably won't ever go to a parade because I'm just not big on parades.
Right.
I did watch them on, did the Macy's Day Parade, watch it on television, but beyond that, but I like the other ways that you have seen before. All you heard about was the Pride Parade, and that would be it. But now it is opened up to so many different avenues. Now everyone is really embracing and expanding everyone's knowledge. You have television shows, like they'll have, how they'll have like a set of shows for different cultures. Now they have it for the LGBTQ community and for Pride Month, and I think that that's really cool because it's a lot of opportunity for people who may not know a lot, to have that opportunity to get there.
And their knowledge. No, I feel you. Like I know that a lot of people are super critical right now with like the whole capitalization, I guess, of Pride and how all these companies are coming in and saying, "Oh, hi, during Pride, we love you gays." And I mean, honestly, I hear that and I'm here for those arguments. And I understand, yeah, we don't want to just like the commercialization of Juneteenth. Essentially, those are scattered conversations as well. It's like I understand, but at the end of the day, we are in America. America is a capitalistic country. So the fact that we are bringing pride to the forefront during the 1 month of June, I think, like you're saying, it's great because it's just bringing up conversations. Now, with all these pride channels, we get to see, gay art. I just watched a short film on these two little boys on Disney Plus. Okay, literally Disney Plus, supposedly conservative, started by a neo-Nazi, about these two little Chinese boys where they are one is being, I guess, criticized a little more by his old cultural ways. The other one is a little more inspired. The other one's family is a little more inspired by new age thinkings. But like both of the boys are being accepting of each other, where one is a little more feminine than the other one's a little more traditionally masculine. It was just such a beautiful 15-minute. I totally overanalyzed that shit, but it was a total beautiful short-minute film that I never in my life would even think that that would be a possibility in my future, that Disney would be showing me little gay boys. And I love it. I literally love the world that I'm living in right now. I understand that I am 100% super loud, super gay, and super happy about that. And it took me a while to get here, which I think is totally a thing about pride that I feel we can discuss in a second. But at the same time, I'm just so happy that right now I get to turn on the TV and see those options. I get to go to the store and see a rainbow everywhere. I get to walk down, little bars that aren't traditionally gay bars and say, "Hey, for Pride, here's a shot off." I don't even know. I love
Yeah.
that. I really do love that. I mean, I've never been that proud, and not in a negative way, of being Latino or being, I don't know, short or male, but like there's a certain sense of being gay that but after being in the closet for so long, after, not really liking yourself and not really accepting or really being approving of who you are within, when you finally get to those steps where you get to say, yeah, I'm happy, I think is really beautiful. So I hear you on, I'm not really a big parade person, but I hope to one day really go ham on a pride, and like
Mhm.
not just to, be crazy sexual, because that's my 20s. I'm in my 30s now. I have to grow up.
Yeah, and I think that there's this concept that everything that happens to be gay is needs to be overly sexualized, and I'm like, that's a myth, and I'm like, or and for those who are misinformed or only see it as this, they don't see it as this is a whole culture. This is a whole aspect of American culture. It's a part of it. It's not just American, it's worldwide. And we are just now at the point of our of time in our civilization where we can really embrace. Because for so long there were, like you said, like there is a commercialized ideal to it, but the government, anytime government or anything's involved, it's going to be commercialized because they do things to like throw you a bone, like the Juneteenth thing, but that's a whole
Yeah, I know that
issue.
should definitely be discussed. That deserves its own. So we are only touching on it because we are respectful. But damn,
Yes,
that fucking
yes,
shit, that's a
yes.
real motherfucking talk.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic for another day. Hopefully we can have that conversation. But I just think that celebrating, and so when, like you said, when you have went through the experiences that you went through, and to have someone that you can see yourself, or you can see, and you've had to be hidden or in spaces where people can't see, you had to be invisible in invisible spaces, and having this opportunity to now say, hey, I see a version of myself. You have polls, you have
Mhm.
all of these shows now that it's like, I don't want to say the word humanizes, but it gives people an inside look into, because a lot of things we people don't understand it, they have their own biases they grow and they develop and cultivate over time. And then when um you see a show like Pose, which has been, so groundbreaking. This is something, like you said, the culture has been around forever, but now it's like people are catching up.
Correct.
People are understanding or seeing um, the experience and the group of people for the first time. So they are having the opportunity to understand a little bit more, like, okay, now I get a little bit of what ballroom is. I get a sense of community. I get the connections between these
Families.
yeah, their families, and how you had to create families outside of your normal when your own families pushed you aside or didn't want to connect with you. You had to use your friends and the people around you to build a family and to build a supportive community. And that's what you start to see. And I think that that is a beautiful thing that we are now showcasing it. And we are showing people, because I remember in similar, I've just got through reading Cicely Tyson's Just As I Am.
Okay.
And in there, she made a comment. She did this movie called Sounder. And there was one of the white execs. He was like, yeah, in the film, there was a scene where the son called his dad daddy. My son calls me daddy. And I didn't, and this was like in the 70s. So it was just like, and he's telling this to a group of the Black stars who were in the film. And so it's like, wow, for you to just blatantly let us know that you were racist, because it's just like, you couldn't even you can't even see us as human. You don't even think that we have these experiences. Of course, what else would they call their father? Why would you think that we're so different? And so to have that there's correlation, it's like now people are saying, well, I didn't know that this meant this in the community, or this is that. in the gay community. I didn't know they did this. And I'm like, why would they're people? People are people. We are people. Everyone's, it's just a different cultural, or or not just cultural, but it's just a different um identity, but we're still identified as human beings. So to not even make the connection, it's like we have to enter and see our own biases in regards to those things.
100. I definitely see the reprogramming starting. I definitely see when I see little boys running around or in dance classes, or when I see little girls signing up for archery and for, whatever is traditionally considered masculine, or, same vein for the boys. I think it's beautiful, because I do think that the world is starting to just realize that, maybe not so much as, oh, now gay people are here, but it's just we've always been here, but we're not really, a secret anymore. We're not really to be kept in the quiet, like the disgusting things that have been done to all people who have been oppressed. Now, I think with the age of social media and technology, everything is like, you know what, let's put a light on this. Let's put a light on this. Let's turn on the camera here. Let's show this, because we are all get the opportunity now to just share our voices. And I do think it's really, really powerful. And I think with Pride, I understand that a part of it is just, going to the parades and being loud and extravagant and showcasing everything. But I also think Pride Month is just a time to remember all of these good things that all of the people that before us came and
Mhm,
fought for the rights that we have today. Because I was literally just, I'm a property manager here in downtown LA. I just
mhm.
went to a Red Line for RuPaul's Drag Race, just premiered. Angina's hosting a
Okay,
weekly show. We went, so much fun. Oh
nice.
my gosh, I loved going out again. But it was
Mhm,
like really, really nice, because prior to me going, I was texting one of my other residents, an older gay resident, and he was like, oh yeah, when I first moved out here in the 60s, there wasn't really much of a gay scene, much of anything. But Redline was one of the first, and they offered beer. So he was like giving me a cute little text, history
mhm.
lesson, which was cute. Obviously, I was like, okay, I'll go wiki later it. But like, oh my gosh, like I love that I get to go out right now and live my best life, knowing that these older men can had to do it in a different way. They were living their best fantasy life, but a little quieter, a little quieter. And I hope that in the future, like there isn't necessarily the gay bar or the straight bar or the drag queen this or that. It's like, you know what, hey, tonight we're doing this, maybe later on tonight we'll be doing the
Yeah.
complete opposite. And I can't
Mhm.
wait for like those types of nights to
Yeah.
happen, because
And
honestly,
I
that's
think that's where we're kind of on our way, because before, if you think about years past, Pride was just, it's like, oh, that's that group over there. That's
yeah.
they're celebrating. And it's kind of like how Black History Month was. It's like, oh, yeah, give them Black History Month
Give
and
them
they can all
February.
celebrate it. Yeah, give them February. It's the shortest month
It's
of the,
the shortest month
we're
of the
all
year.
throughout history.
Exactly.
Just celebrate you maybe in
Mm,
February if we remember.
yeah.
So it's like, but now it's like, oh, now we're expanding the culture so that it is not just, it is Black culture, but it is understanding, connecting, and it's an opportunity for you to gain more knowledge of Black culture. And that's the same thing with Pride. This is an opportunity for you to understand, to hear the history, to know the trailblazers within the LGBT community. And it's just as important as when we celebrate
American
the Asian
history.
American culture,
Correct.
when we celebrate Latin
Women's
American culture.
history.
We have to celebrate, we need to celebrate the indigenous, because they are, all of these entities are a part in the makeup of what it is to be in the United States. So they all, everyone plays a role, and we should know about each other's culture, because you open the history books and it's from the beginning to the end. You throw in a couple of things about the Japanese encampments and some
Barely.
slavery and civil
Barely.
rights, and then that's it. But
Hmm.
everything else is white America. And it's like, and then, it kills me when you have entities that are like, well, I don't understand why we need to talk about, because everything is through the lens of your culture. Through America is the epitome of America in terms of what you people see when they see America is people that look like them. But that's the thing. I should be able to see people that look like me. You should be able to identify with people who are like you, and should and not feel like that's a separate entity. It's a part, because like in your culture, the Latin culture, I love the culture because you're Latin. You whether it's Cuban, whether you have different entities, but there's this cultural connection that it's like there's pride there. And so when you have that, we come from, like, in the LGBT community, there's people that are, gender identified, non-gender, binary, and then there's all of these in betweens, and that's what makes up the LGBT community. That's what makes it special. There's all types of cultures in the African communities, in the African diaspora. There's all cultures in the Asian, and we just need to celebrate everyone and give everyone a voice. And I love that Pride allows us to do that.
Yes, I really, really do. Every year I feel like I want to focus something new. And this year I was looking at all the different damn flags we have, all the pride flags. I was like, oh my gosh, I love that there's a lesbian and bisexual, pansexual, and abrasexual, all these different cool new flags. I'm like, you know what? It's literally letting us, who maybe at one point in our life didn't feel this way or didn't feel that way, or was like, I think I'm gay, but why am I not as horny as everyone else? Why am I not falling in love with everybody I see? Why am I falling in love with everybody I see? It's like all these different little people, or all these different little like subgroups now have this beautiful quilt with all of the takeover of the letters LGBTQIA plus and then some. Like, I love that all of us get these little, flags, all these little subcultures. But at the end of the day, this month is that time to just showcase it all. Bring it out, honey. Show me your true colors. Show me your colors. Any color. I love. And I'm so excited. Like, black and white is just not, black and white is just not a thing. It's just not a thing. There's
too many colors in between, and we need to accept and embrace and just learn about all of it, And we started, but I think we're about at that mark.
Oh my gosh, on time? For real?
Yes, I think we are.
I think we are too. Oh my gosh, such a beautiful conversation.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and and end it.
Random.
Yes.
Can I add this, because I was like thinking about it as we were saying it?
Yes, okay, go ahead.
Okay, February, 28 days. March, Women's History, 30 days. Pride, June, 30 days. Latin American History Month, September, 30 days. Why they give us all the short months? Who gets 31? All right, right? That's it. That's all I'm saying. Wait, when? Oh wait, fuck! I forgot Asian. When's Asian American History? That May.
I feel like it's come. Did it just happen? I feel like it just was around the corner.
Oh, fail. Fuck. Okay. Well, whenever, I hope they get the 31. I hope they break the 31.
I hope someone gets 31.
I hope so too.
I feel like July is all about patriotism. That's 31.
Oh yeah. Like that. That's done. That's gone.
Yes. All right. It was great talking with you, and I enjoyed it as always.
Thank you.
All right.
Talk to you soon.
Always such a treat to hear from Christian and Nikita. Inclusivity is so important. Thanks a lot, guys, for your contribution to the podcast. That's it for us, folks. Catch us next week for a brand new episode with brand new contributors. If you like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at WannaCoffeePod. That's WannaCoffeePod. I'm your host, Kai, and let's wanna coffee next week. Cheers. orange is not my new black.